Perfect. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here. Um, I am super excited. I love so much explaining just what we do here. And I'm curious, just like kind of while we're talking here, I'm curious to see why some of us are here today. Like what made you join this call today? So if you want to kind of put in the chat some of those answers, but I'm sure that some of you are here because we are starting a Facebook challenge on May 1st. And so that is really, really exciting. It's one of my favorite things that we do. And some of you are here because you're interested in not just earning product credit, but you're when referring people, but actually earning money. So some of you may have been invited by a colleague or a friend, right? And I would take that as a huge compliment that this friend or colleague is like, they see something in you and they want you to see what we do. And I believe, have found something that is so unique, and we're going to change the world. And we're looking for the right people to help us do that. So, whoever invited you, they think there's something pretty special about you. So, we are super glad that you are here with us today. So, we have something here that is working better than medications in many, many cases. So, for things like cholesterol, weight management, blood sugar control, hormones, gut health, and no one really knows about this. So, we are trying to do the best we can to share it and spread it as quickly as we can to as many people as we can. But the truth is, we need help. And so we need you if you feel like this is a good fit for you. And so that is the purpose of today's call. I'm just kind of going to explain what we do. I'm not going to try to sell you anything or convince you of anything. I just want you to take a look at this and see if it's a good fit. So we have this amazing, amazing team. And it's really cool because I've never worked with such like-minded people and in the same breath, like learned so much. It's one thing to be with people that you kind of are like, okay, we jive, we get this, but I learn from these people day in and day out, and it's pretty amazing. So I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. Let me see if I can quickly pull up a picture, because a picture, just says so much. I think I should be able to find this quickly, but my name is Katie. I am a wife. I am a mom of three. I'm a hairstylist, and I found myself in a pretty terrible place about 6 years ago. I was 100 pounds overweight. I was pre-diabetic. I had suffered from PCOS for over 20 years. So I was just metabolically in a terrible, terrible place. I had no energy, and I just kept thinking, I'm not that old. Like, I'm 40. Why am I already feeling like this? And so thankfully, my dear friend Brittany, we're close enough that she knew all of my ups and downs and my trials and what was going on. And she said, hey, I have something that my brother introduced me to, and I think it could help you. And so I was introduced to the Feel Great system, and over the course of the next 2 years, completely changed my life, was completely given my life back. So I have just this little before and after here. But so I fast forward, was able to lose almost 100 pounds. I have no longer am pre-diabetic. I am off of 9 different medications that I took. One specifically metformin that I took for over 20 years. And so my life just, I am a completely different person, and I owe it all to the things that I learned here. And because of that, I share it. And it's a really neat thing to be able to share. So I kind of want to wrap my head around who is on our call today. So if you just want to put in the chat, like if you know about The Feel Great system, if you've ever used it, if you haven't, that's fine too. Just put no in the chat. But if you do know a little bit about this, just go ahead and put that in the chat. But I'm going to walk you through this as if you've never heard about this before, kind of from square one. And let me share my screen here so that I can get going. Okay. Let's see. Move this. All right. There we go. Can you see anything on my screen? You should be able to. Okay, good. Perfect. You never know. Technology, right? Okay, can you still see it? We're good? Give me a thumbs up. Perfect. Thank you, Connie. Thank you. Okay, so I am going to take you through a little something called insulin resistance. And one thing that you may know about insulin resistance, but one thing that you may not know, and most people don't, is that insulin resistance is at the root of so many metabolic health disorders. So if we look at the screen and we've got all of these things, they are tied to insulin resistance at the root. And the issue that we have run into over the years is we focus on symptoms. And a lot of times we focus just on managing those symptoms. We don't focus on getting to the root cause of what's actually causing those symptoms. So we've got 1 in 4 Americans, just about, who are on some weight loss medications. They are struggling with obesity. They are struggling with weight control. And I get it. I was there. And most of the time, you're going to go to the doctor and they're going to tell you a couple different things, but you're going to walk out with a prescription. That was me. This will help you possibly lose weight. We never focused on why the weight control issue was happening. So we've got a ton, millions of people who are overweight. We have, when we talk about fatty liver, this used to be something that we talked about with alcoholics. This was not something that we were seeing in teenagers, non-alcoholic fatty liver disease. So our liver function is down and it's affecting millions of people,
Katie,
right? Yeah.
here you've got your speaker boxes on there too. I thumbs up before I saw that was on there.
Okay, let me move
I
this.
want to see all the pictures.
I want you to too. There you go. Can you see it now? Is that speaker
Yeah.
box gone?
No,
Okay, good.
the speaker box is gone. Is there
Okay.
something else that should be? No, I think that's good. Is that good, you guys?
Okay, you guys see it? Okay, perfect. Okay, so fatty liver, right? Let's move back to this. There we go. Okay, blood sugar control. So blood sugar is a big one. It's affecting a lot of people. There's over, 50 million Americans who are pre-diabetic and type 2 diabetic. And once again, we are being given medications to just manage the symptoms, and that is it. Same thing, you go to the doctor, you've got migraines, they're going to write you a prescription to try to just help you manage those symptoms, but we're not getting to what is actually causing the migraines. Heart disease. Heart disease is a huge one. Statin medications are one of the top prescribed medications in the world. Once again, heart disease is on the rise. We are not reversing anything. PCOS, this is one that's near and dear to my heart. I dealt with polycystic ovarian syndrome for over 20 years. It's one of the top causes of infertility in women, and it really is just insulin resistance of the ovaries. So all of this is coming back to that root cause of insulin resistance. And it's tricky, but I want you to think when you're looking at this board here, I want you to imagine being at a family reunion and looking around you and seeing how many people around you are dealing with one or more of these issues. Uh, there's too many of us. I know in my own personal family, my grandmother was type 2 diabetic. My mom has thyroid. We touch almost all of these just in my own family. If you think about even going into Target or Walmart, your grocery store, how many people are probably dealing with one or more of these issues? Um, there's a lot. And if you are on that list, you are definitely not alone. There was a study done that says 93% of Americans are dealing with some bad or damaged metabolic health. So only 7% of American adults have good cardiometabolic health. So, like I said, you are definitely not alone. I heard this analogy once and I'm like, oh, it makes so much sense. If you were in a classroom and or let's say 93 out of 100 students in that classroom were failing, we wouldn't be asking like, what's wrong with these students? Are they not listening? What's going on? We would be saying, okay, what is this teacher teaching? What is this school? What are the values and principles? What's going on here? There's a systemic problem. And that's what's going on in our country right now. We have a problem. And even if you don't think, if you're thinking like, wait, are there really like that many people struggling? Like, I don't know if it's that high. Is it really like 9 to 10 out of, 9 out of 10 people? Um, this is the tricky part. Insulin resistance, I always say it, insulin resistance is sneaky. So I personally was insulin resistant for 15 years before I became pre-diabetic. So people are dealing with things like anxiety and depression. They're dealing with skin issues. They're dealing with psoriasis. They're dealing with inflammation. They're dealing with IBS. Maybe their waist is just starting to get a little bit thicker, or you can't really push that plate away anymore. You're hungry all day. You want to snack all day. And that is when you think about that number, how many people are struggling with that, it really starts to make even more sense. Natalie, will you just let me know? My chat is like not coming up here, which is fine. I don't need it, but will you kind of keep me up on the chat if we have questions and when I ask things, just to thank you. I don't
Yes.
know why it's hidden somewhere and it is there it is. It's coming back. Okay. Sorry guys. Sometimes, it just gets a little squirrely in here. Okay, so the best part about this is that we have a solution. And this is not just a solution that I think is great because it worked for me. This is a solution that has been proven. And this is the Feel Great system, right? We have 5 patents on this system. It cannot be duplicated. It has been clinically studied at some of the most amazing, wonderful universities and top hospitals in the world. So we've got the Cleveland Clinic that's done a beautiful study on it. We've got the University of Sydney, which is home of the glycemic index. They helped us all understand what foods do to our blood sugar, right? They made it very simple and easy. So they know what they're talking about. It's safe and it's natural. And that's really important to me. And that you'll find that's really important to a lot of people. They want to know that this could be taken long term if needed and that there are no long term consequences. Another thing is that it is guaranteed. So there is a 90-day money back guarantee, which is absolutely phenomenal because what happens is the company will do this for you. This is not something that I have to go and try to figure out. My customers can contact the company. There's a 90-day trial period essentially. And Unicity is very smart because when you look at your A1C, your hemoglobin A1C, that's a 90-day reading. So we want people to put this to the test. We want them to say, hey, here was my reading at day 1, here it is at day 90. And if there's not measurable results, we're going to give you your money back. We know this is going to work. So that's why there is that guarantee. But it's pretty amazing. It's also cost neutral. And I'm going to go over that in just a couple minutes on how it's cost neutral. I'm going to show you that even people who are on a fixed income, this can work for them. And it's also available in 50 plus countries, which is just pretty amazing, especially knowing that every country has different quality control issues. They have different things that we have to we've got to fit in these boxes. And these supplements are so wonderful. They're safe, they're natural, like I said. And so we can get into all these countries and do well. So when you get your Feel Great system. You may already have it, but when you get it, it is a 30-day supply, 2 different drinks. And I'm going to go over what these drinks are, how you drink them. But this system is meant to be used with a little light intermittent fasting. So what's going to happen is that you are going to wake up in the morning and you are going to start sipping on the Unimate. The Unimate is a yerba mate concentrate. It is wonderful because it's going to help you forget about food. So when you wake up and you're in fat burning mode, we're just going to stay in fat burning mode. It is like willpower in a packet. It helps you with have this clear, focused energy. It's wonderful. So you're going to sip on that in the morning and you are going to take that money that you possibly would have spent on breakfast. And we're going to start like tallying this up, right? So I can show you how this is cost neutral. But you're going to take that first one in the morning, then you're going to break your fast. Most people between lunch and dinner get a little snacky again. So you're going to sip on another one of these Unimates. It's going to help you so that you're not snacking. It's going to help you stay focused. You're going to feel good, right? And then you are going to, before your most carb heavy meal of the day, most of the time that's dinner, you are going to take this fiber supplement. And this balance is a fiber matrix. It is not Metamucil. It is not Benefiber. It has 4 different patents on it. And it not only is going to help with your post-meal glucose spike, I will talk about that a little bit later, but it's going to help with cholesterol. It's going to help with your gut health. It's doing so many wonderful things on your body that's working on healing your body from the inside out. So I want you to put in the chat for me, if you think about breakfast, how much do you think people spend on breakfast? Like if you were to go through Starbucks or Dunkin' Donuts or McDonald's, even make a meal at home, how much do you think you're spending on that meal? Think about your snacks. I know for me, it sounds silly and it's kind of embarrassing to admit, but I went to McDonald's numerous times a week at about 3 p.m. before my carpool started. And I would get a large Diet Coke with extra ice. That was $3.55. So I was spending all this extra money on snacks. But when you take that money, say $5 to $10, and you just start saving it up because you're replacing those meals or those snacks with these drinks, it is going to help you get to that $159 a month. And that's how it has become cost neutral. Another thing that Unicity has started doing, which is wonderful, is that you can use your FSA and HSA funds for the Feel Great system. And so that has been a total game changer for people as well. But that really is simply how it works. There's 3 drinks and you just drink them, right? Like I said, the Feel Great system is pretty phenomenal, but when we talk about this Unimate drink, right? This is the drink that we're sipping on when we wake up in the morning, when we're kind of skipping breakfast or pushing our breakfast back. The really neat thing is I talked about in the beginning how about 1 in 4 Americans are on these weight loss injections. So we've got Ozempic, Mounjaro, the semaglutides, the tirzepatides. These are synthetic versions of the GLP-1 hormone. GLP-1 is something that a lot of people are actually deficient in. And Unimate, when you sip on it in a fasted state, it's actually going to increase your body's own production of that GLP-1 hormone up to 60 to 70%. That was a big deal for me because I knew that I had a ton of food noise. And one thing that that hormone does, that GLP-1, that peptide, it squashes food noise. It turns down the hunger signal. So when you're sipping on that in the morning, you are going to feel wonderful. You really are going to forget about food. Now, I talked about this fiber supplement, this balance, and it helps with your post-meal glucose spike. Now, I was a pre-diabetic, so I definitely was pretty well versed in blood sugar and what was going on, but most people aren't. Most people just know that they eat something probably pretty high in sugar or carbs, and about an hour later, they don't feel good. They crash, they're hungry again, they're snacky, and they don't realize that their blood sugar is going on this roller coaster. Well, one of the main things that this fiber supplement does is we had a study done and they gave people a waffle breakfast with orange juice and syrup. And they said, here, we want you to take this balance first, and then we want you to eat this meal. And they found that there was a 34 to 37% post-meal glucose reduction because of that balance. That's huge. As someone who took metformin for 20 years, metformin is one of the first line of defense for blood sugar control. Metformin helps up to about 28% to 30% in that blood glucose reduction. But balance does this naturally. I had to get a colonoscopy at the age of 23 because of what metformin was doing to my insides. So there's, you know, we got to look at the side effects, right? This is all natural. It's going to feel pretty fantastic. The next thing is this. This is the physician's desk reference. And I had never heard of this before, but what the physician's desk reference is, it's basically like a big doctor book. And so your doctor, you can take these supplements to your doctor and you can say, hey, can you look these up in your big doctor book? And they can. So this is full of different medications, and it's going to give you how you take these, if there's any drug interactions. Well, because our supplements are clinically studied, have been backed by science, they are actually listed in this PDR, in this big doctor's book. And so your doctor is going to be able to, they'll probably say, I've never heard of these. What are they? Sounds kind of like a scam. Some ladies telling you they're working better than medications, right? But they can go look them up. They can see that there's no drug interactions. They can see their efficacy, and they're going to give you the green light, right? One of the reasons that this is so cool is we talked about the Cleveland Clinic quickly. We touched on it briefly, but the Cleveland Clinic is one of the top heart hospitals in the world. They did a study on balance, and this is their concluding statement from that study. It says such a product, if taken regularly, could reduce cardiovascular risk on a population basis and potentially decrease the need and/or dose for lipid-lowering prescription drugs. Okay, that's statins. And like I said, statins are one of the top prescribed medications in the US. Why we didn't hear about this, I have my reasons why, because if you're a statin medication company, you don't want this getting out. You don't want people knowing, well, wait, there's a natural alternative that I can take and I'm not gonna have side effects. It's pretty wild. So I want to show a couple stories here of real life people who have had experiences and their lives have been changed. I want you to put in the chat though, if you are here and you have had some positive changes from the Feel Great system, I want you to put this down in the chat so I can read some of them. And you don't need to exaggerate, just really what's happened. What I love is that everyone's story is very different. And this just goes to show insulin resistance affects people differently. It's not one size fits all. But when we solve for the root problem, all of our symptoms go away. So this is Cody. I now actually have been able to meet Cody in real life, and he is such a good guy. He is a gem. But he noticeably lost weight. Right. But he talks about how he is just a different person. His depression was lifted. He's out there working. His whole life has changed. And I think he's lost more than 50 pounds now. But at the time of this picture, he had lost 50 pounds. The next person is me. I always forget that I'm on this one myself. So I already showed you, but and you already heard my story, but down almost 100 pounds, normal A1C, no more PCOS symptoms, off medications. I mean, I'm a literal, I am an Energizer bunny. And it's so fun to get to be involved in my own life again. Let's see, in our chat here, we have Sarah says, my cholesterol came down 40 points in 8 weeks. A1C came down and dropped 25 pounds of stubborn weight. Amazing. Kathy says, I just realized the other day that I haven't needed a nap for months. I used to take one every week or two. Also down one size, surprise, and I sleep so good now. I hear that so often. They're like, Katie, why am I sleeping better? I'm like, I don't know, but I hear it all the time, right? Connie, thank you, Connie. Connie says lost 7 pounds after 3 weeks, feels so much better. Natalie, that's so cool, Connie. I love it. Um, Natalie says, I was able to reverse my depression in 3 weeks. My food noise that had plagued me my entire life is gone, and I've lost 20 pounds of stubborn weight. My 28-year-old reversed her depression in weeks. This is more than just losing a pound, right? This is people's real lives. I love it. Okay, yeah, Sarah says I don't nap anymore either. Yeah, it's wild, the energy. This is Ro. Ro has also had a really, really wonderful experience with the Feel Great system. Her A1C went from over 14, which is severely, severely type 2 diabetic, right? To a 5.9, which is in the pre-diabetic ranges. I mean, that's when we say this is changing lives. This is absolutely changing lives. And Ro is so cool in real life. She's a really awesome lady. So that is the products, right? That's what we're using. This is what is changing lives. And so now I kind of want to switch gears and talk to you about the business side of this. Like I said, I had such an amazing story with the products. I had zero interest in ever doing anything with a business. Uh, and in the same breath, I had people asking me all the time, what was I doing? What was going on? What had changed? Could I help them? And when I learned more about Unicity and the business and what it looked like, I was like, okay, I could get into this, and this is why I love it. So we like to call this more of like a digital franchise. And so it's better than affiliate marketing. It's better than network marketing. It's better than franchising, but it has a little bit of each one of those components in it. And there's two different ways that you can earn money, that you can get paid. But one of the ways is you can refer customers. So when you purchase the product, you will get a link. Everybody gets a link when you become a customer. If you share that link, you are going to be able to get $10 in product credit, right? As a partner, if you become a partner, you can, instead of getting $10 in product credit, you can get $20 to $25 in cash. And that is residual income, because that comes to you every single time your customer orders. Every single time. It does not matter if they order once and then they wait 7 months and then they order again. They are digitally connected to you. And so part of why you might be here is you might be going, okay, I've been referring people, I've been getting these product credits. I want to see how I could actually get paid in cash, double in cash, instead of getting coupons. What I love though about this company is that we want everyone to win. And so if you are just a happy customer and you're referring people, that's great. You're getting that $10 in product credit. But the partner that referred you is getting paid on those customers. They're getting paid the $20 to $25 while you're getting that coupon. And every single time, I can't reiterate that enough. It's just so different, because most of the time, if you use someone's affiliate link, you're going to get a discount. They're going to maybe get paid for that, but they're not going to get paid every single time you go back to that website and you buy something. This is residual income. So this is going to come to you no matter what. So you are paid for every single order ongoing. So that looks like if you had 10 customers, you are going to be getting paid $250 a month every single month that those customers order. If you have 100 customers, you're going to get paid $2,500 a month. 1,000 customers, $25,000 a month. There's no limit here. And you might be thinking like, okay, but I don't even know 100 people who are going to want to do this. That's the beauty of social media. And we can get into that as well a little bit later. But we have people on our team that are doing all these different numbers. But what I really just want you to see is that this is ongoing forever and ever, because these customers are digitally connected to you and there's no limit. So that's that residual income. So if you can think of 10 people who could use this Feel Great system, it's really a no-brainer, because if you have 10 customers, you're going to be making about $250 a month. That means your product is now free and you're making about an extra $100. It's wonderful. And remember, if those customers refer people, they're going to get $10 in product credit, but you are going to get paid the $20 to $25 residual income. So how it all works is pretty fantastic. I love it. And going back to the beginning when we were talking about insulin resistance, so many people need help. There is no shortage of customers, unfortunately, but it's where we are in the world. And so when you're looking at any type of business, we want to make sure that there's a problem that we need to solve for. So we know there's a problem, unfortunately, but we know there's a solution. And that is the magic that this company and this business has really done. So I want to show you, this is a back office. This is not my back office, but this is an example. And this is kind of what you'll see once you become a partner. You're going to be able to see who's ordered, their names, where they're from. You're going to be able to see how many times they've ordered. So you're going to start to see these patterns. Like I have some people that have ordered 20 times. So that's 20 times $25, and every month that order just comes in. You're also going to be able to see their referrals. So you're going to start to notice, like, wait, Delaney, she's referred 4 people, right? And so you have all this information. You also are going to get to see the countries that people are ordering from. I now do some TikTok lives, and they're really fun. And I now have orders from all over the world. It's so cool to look at my back office and I'm like, oh my gosh, like somebody just ordered from Canada. Somebody just ordered from France. Like, what? It's amazing. But because we are once again digitally connected, they could live in California one day and they could move to Argentina tomorrow. And when they place that order, it's going to still be connected to me. So it's amazing. Does anybody have any questions? I realize I am just like spitting out information here. So please, I do have my chat up now. I actually can see it. So if you have questions, please pop in here. This is really meant to be like just back and forth if anyone has anything. I should have said that in the beginning, but here we are halfway through. So if you have questions, please ask me and we can get those answered. But so, like I said, 2 ways that we can earn money here. We can do the referring the customers, the 20 to, it's unlimited, right? But another way that you can earn money is you can refer partners. And this is the leveraged income. This is totally different than just sharing your link. And full disclosure, when I first decided that I just wanted to share my link, I was like, I'd love the link. I'll post to strangers on the internet and I'll tell them my story. But I don't want to build a team. That was never something that was in my mind. But once I saw the beauty in this, it's now become my favorite part, because the piece that I was missing was that I couldn't do this alone. My voice is not big enough to reach the world, right? But more than that, you have influence over people that I don't even know. You have leverage with people who I've never even met before. So when we team up together and we work together, we get to this point where we're reaching so many more people. And so this is kind of what this looks like. If I have somebody that wants to work with me and is like, I want to do this because they have maybe friends, your brain starts to tick a little bit. And so I might have a customer that's like, hey, how do I do this? Because you know what? I've got a friend who owns a gym. I've got a friend that shares everything. Like, they start thinking of people who could become possible partners as well. But when your partners make sales, you can earn $5 to $10 on your partner sales. And so we have this in really vested interest in helping our partners, because if our partners aren't winning, we aren't winning, right? Remember, our partners are making $20 to $25 off of each sale. We want them to be getting the bigger piece of the pie. right? And so if you think about it as a franchise, this is where kind of this franchising and networking comes in. If you think of a Starbucks franchise, you own the Starbucks, the franchise, you're making the money that's coming in, but you're paying Starbucks a little piece of the pie because they've given you the recipes, they've given you the structure, they've given you everything that you need to be successful. That is exactly what we want to do when we link arms with you. We're going to give you our recipes. We're going to give you the success stories. We're going to give you videos that you can make that are really going to help you win. Because if our partners aren't winning, we're not winning. It doesn't matter what we do here. Um, okay, so yes. Okay, so Connie, I'm gonna go over right now. I love it when this happens. Connie and I are on the same wavelength. But yes, there is a minimum. If you join the business to get paid your commissions, you have to place 100 PV order, which is a feel great system. So we just ask that you're using the product and that you're doing it. It doesn't have to be a Feel Great system. We have many other products that you can do, but I personally just know I am ordering my Feel Great system every month, and that works. So we have people. I will get to I have a whole slide on that. So just give me 2 minutes here. We have people though on our team. Some people want to make $250 a month. They're like, I just want my product to be free and I want to make a couple, 100 extra bucks. Awesome. We can help you do that. We have people on our team who are making $5,000 a month. We have people who are making $50,000 a month. These are real numbers. I know for me personally, I'm a hairstylist. So I was like, I can do this on the side. I do this part-time. But because of the training that I've received here, because of the really just guidance I've been given and the way that this has been set up, I now do this. Like I said, it's still part-time. But I was able to match and surpass my income from doing hair as a hairstylist. I'm making more than $8,000 most months doing this part-time. And I had 0 followers when I started. I just talked to people in real life, but like barely. So I really feel like I am a success story of helping people because I got the help. And so I know how to do it now. And I am not a unicorn. I'm not just one person that's been able to do this. There are people all around us that are doing the same thing. And so whether it's like you want to make $250, you want to make $1,000, you want to make $20,000, we are here to help you. And this is monthly. So this is every single month. It takes work. So I don't want anyone to come on here thinking this is like a get rich quick scam. It's absolutely not. I put work in. All of us who are earning consistently are working. And so we tell people 5 to 10 hours minimum to be able to get to where you want to be. But we're definitely putting in the work. So this is how it works. When you decide to become a partner, there is a business in a box and it is $1,549. And I want to kind of break down what this looks like and how this works. So when you purchase this business in a box, you become a partner and you are going to get sent to you 10 Feel Great sets. So you are getting 10 sets for the price of 9. So a little bit of a discount on these sets, but they come to you for free because you've purchased this business in a box. This is also going to unlock your $20 to $25 per order. So you are going to get your link that now makes it so that you're making cash instead of product credit. Okay. The link that you have now, if you are a customer, is only going to give you product credit. This now unlocks the $25 per order. But the reason why we want you to get these 10 sets and get them out is because we want you to build stories. So my dear friend Brittany, who introduced me to this product, I'm one of her stories. And because she sold that 10 pack of hers that she got, she started building these little billboards that walk around for her and help other people hear this message of hope. Of course, you can use them for yourself. Like you don't have to sell these, but you are going to want to get these in the hands of other people. And when you become a partner, we like to do an onboarding call pretty much within a day or two, ideally. And on that onboarding call, we have one of our main goals is to help you sell that kit. And so what that looks like is you're able to recoup your investment, we hope, within the month. We don't want you to be sitting on this product. We want you to, like we said, build these stories, link arms with people, and start getting those words out. You're also going to get mentoring and tools. Like I said, we have, I don't know if anybody on here, I know a couple people know about our weekly science calls, but we have weekly science calls that are absolutely phenomenal. You will not have all the answers to all the questions right away. I still text Brittany, Natalie, what happened with this? What do I do here? Right? You're not going to have all the answers. But these science calls are phenomenal, and they are with medical professionals. They're going to help. It's wonderful. So you're going to get that product mentoring. You're going to start to understand, and you know that you're feeling better, right? You're sleeping better. You're starting to lose weight, but you're going to start to understand why. You're going to get the business mentoring. This once again, like I said, is pretty near and dear to my heart because I'm a hairstylist and I don't even carry product in my salon. So learning how to talk with people and to build a business was very foreign to me, and it's been pretty phenomenal because I'm a really good follower. You tell me what to do and I'm going to do it. And so I have just followed the steps that were given to me, and it's helped me to be successful. Um, Social media mentoring as well. Like I said, I started with 0 followers. I think a lot of us started, some people have platforms already and they're able to integrate this right into, yeah, Kathy, right? Kathy was able to integrate this right in, but still she's getting so much mentoring in the areas that she needs it. And that's pretty awesome. But I want to reiterate, 0. I didn't even have a TikTok account. So it can be done. So that is the 10 pack. We're going to help you. We're going to help you sell those products because we want you to have stories. You're going to understand how to do this. And it's almost like drinking from a fire hose, quite frankly. I did an onboarding earlier this week and I was like, okay, how are you feeling? And my new partner was kind of like, wow, I've never been part of a company that has this much information at my fingertips. I was like, I know. So we have an academy that you can walk through, do your own courses at your own pace. I mean, there's just so much. But this, at the end of the day, this is the success formula. The success formula is we want you to use the product. We want you to be a product of the product, right? We want you to have your own story. And whether your story is just this is helping you with preventative health, this is helping you not even go down the road of metabolic health disorders, right? Or if it's a story like mine of reversing all of these issues, we want you to have your own experience with the product. That's really, really important. We want to help you get 10 customers because when you have 10 customers, you're getting your product for free and a little bit of extra cash. And then we want to help you duplicate this with partners. That's the success formula. You can supercharge it with social media. Not everybody has the desire to do that, and that's okay. But if you want to, we are here to teach you exactly how to do it. So there's really no better time to become a partner because of this group. So if you are a part of our Better Together Facebook group, will you just put a yes in the comment so I can see? Most of you, if you are here, you are part of this group. And this group, once again, is so near and dear to my heart because this group is what actually started my own business. So in January of 2024, we decided that we were going to do a challenge. It was the first challenge we had ever done. We came up with this concept. We worked on it together. And I had newly started my business, newly shared about my business. So this is a year and 3 months ago. And I was able to share this and put people into this challenge group. Now, the challenge is free when you purchase the Feel Great system to be part of this group, right? And so what happened was I was able to, while I was still learning about the products and exactly how they worked, my teammates buoyed me up. They nurtured my customers right alongside of me. But in this challenge, we're getting food guides, we're getting workout guides, we're getting fasting calendars, we are getting daily science videos that are explaining metabolic health. It is literally a silver platter experience for your customers to be able to be put into this group. And so it's a perfect time to reach out to people and say, hey, I'm doing this challenge. I actually bought like some product in bulk. So if you want, do this with me. I can ship you this product. I can drop this product off to you, but let's do this together and we will help you. We will be there to answer your customers' questions because you may not know the answers all right away, and that's okay. But there's really no better time. And like I said, it's just so near and dear to my heart because it really changed the trajectory of my business by starting that challenge in January of 2024. So before I keep going and just rattling anything off, are there any other questions before I kind of get into, we just have a couple more minutes, but just, I'm going to go over some frequently asked questions, things that you might have thought of at one point, but maybe aren't remembering right this exact moment. But if you have any questions, just throw them in the chat and I will be more than happy to answer those. But one of the things that people ask is they're like, well, what do I do with these kits? All of a sudden you've got these 10 beautiful kits waiting for you. They come with the diamond bottle. They are ready to go. One thing I want to remind you is that whoever you sell one of these kits to, they still have that 90-day money back guarantee. So that's really wonderful. You can give that guarantee even if they're buying one of your own kits. But we have some scripts for helping you sell your 10 pack. So like I said, in the beginning, that first onboarding call, one of our top priorities is helping you get set up, but helping you sell those. We want you to have some wins. And like we said, we want you to have some stories that are walking around. You're also going to get like a step-by-step checklist. It's going to help you know exactly what to do. Like I said, the onboarding, we've got this really dialed in. We've got some really awesome systems that are working super well. What kind of support will I get? That is a very valid question. I know for me, one of my biggest worries was I was going to sign up and I was going to do something and then I just wasn't going to know what to do. And like I said, I didn't have a ton of business experience. I cut hair and I chat all day long with people. That's the extent of my business expertise. And so the support that you get is absolutely phenomenal. So not only with your direct sponsor, whoever invited you to this call, but it's also with all of us. We're here to help everyone. So you're going to get this new partner checklist. You're going to get access to our Facebook group. There's also another big team Facebook group. But like I said, we've got those science calls weekly. We have weekly trainings that you can either listen to live. They're all recorded, so you can go back and listen to those. We have actually numerous training calls every single week, but it's your business. So you get to decide how you're going to do it, if you're going to be there live for those calls, if you're going to listen to them later. Once again, full disclosure, I jumped in and was like, I don't know what's going on. And like I said, now we've got these systems that make it really easy. You're going to know when the calls are, you're going to know where to find the replays. And now, like, I don't want to miss out on these calls. I will put in an AirPod and listen to them while I'm, making dinner or while I'm driving carpool. Because they're just so valuable. Yes, Kathy says, I love that you can do this at your own pace. You really can. And there are times when you are going to want to run. And there are times when you are going to want to walk. And there are times when you're going to want to hide. There's all different paces here. But we've all been there. And that's what's pretty wonderful. So this is the training. Sorry, I jumped ahead of myself, but I've talked about that. We've got the weekly science calls, like I said, that really they do all the heavy lifting. You get your customers or your potential customers to those science calls, and they're going to see the beauty of how these products are working. Medical professionals are going to be explaining. It's pretty phenomenal. We've got our Feel Great training site. That's where you've got, just so much. Like I said, that's the fire hose, right? And it's pretty phenomenal what we have there. Also that academy that I talked about, these videos that just kind of walk you step by step by step. You can watch them at their own pace. Some people are nervous about social media. The good news is If you don't want to do social media, you don't have to. However, it does supercharge your business. So if you're thinking about it at all, we have phenomenal resources for teaching you how to do this. Like I said, I started from scratch, from zero, and I step by step did what I was supposed to do. I now have over 50,000 followers on different platforms, and they listen. They listen because they're hearing things that they've never heard, but it makes sense. And it's wonderful. We also have 50 ready to record video scripts. So Brittany has gone in and she has taken some of our best performing videos. She's broken them down. You literally can read a script. There's pictures, I mean, this right there, the value alone in having those scripts, if you want to just start out and just do the scripts, you're going to have months worth of information. We also teach you how to record, how to edit. I mean, there's just so many things. This is the permission to replicate those videos and scripts. It's pretty wonderful. These are just some of our people, our friends who have built their platforms from zero. Different platforms. We've got Instagram, we've got TikTok, we've got Facebook. We have people who are doing this on all different platforms, and they're winning, and they're truly just following the steps that we've been given. Some people want to build an email list, and I just wanted to bring this up quickly. We have some lead magnets. So if you want to offer to your social media people, hey, I've got a fasting calendar for women, we've got that for you. I've got a free food guide, and you can start building your own email list by using these lead magnets. And they're wonderful. I mean, anytime I'm on a live or I'm just saying like, hey, I'm a woman and I fast with my hormones, I've got a free fasting calendar. If you want to download that, like, hey, here's the link. I now have thousands of people who have downloaded that link. And in return, I have their email address and I get to nurture them through emails. So before we wrap up here, I just wanted to tell you we have some exclusive bonuses that are going on right now. One of them is if you join in the next 24 hours, we have an onboarding call on Monday. So you don't have to wait for your onboarding call. It's going to happen on Monday. These are amazing calls done by Brittany, who is just one of the best leaders with such a good heart. Brittany I know if Brittany was here, she would say, this is one of the most wholesome things she's ever been a part of. And I agree. Being able to help people with their health and get paid for that is kind of like, it's almost like, how is that right? But it is so rewarding to get message after message after message from people saying that they've never felt better, saying that their dad now doesn't have to take as much insulin that he's taken for 20 years. So anyway, Brittany is the one who will do those onboarding calls, and she is just a beautiful person who wants us to win. And it's pretty awesome. Yes, Kathy, I would love it. Yes, I will have you jump on here in just a second. The second thing though that you will get if you join within the next 24 hours, which is wonderful, we have an exclusive 3-hour boot camp training, and it has been led by the leading experts on our team. And it's a recording, so you can watch it at your own pace and your own speed. But this is going to help you sell your 10-pack. This is going to show you how you can network, social media. It is 3 hours that really feels like 20 minutes because there's once again so much information, but you will not be left alone. Let's just say that, right? Kathy, if there's no questions, Kathy, do you want to jump on? I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Will it let you? Okay, good.
Yeah, sorry. I
Yeah.
just want to say, because it can be overwhelming and look like a ton, but that's like for me, I actually just barely started making my own personal social media things. Um, anyway, you just kind of take it at your own pace. And the other thing is, initially I was like, oh, I'm not going to do my own personal TikTok. I'll just use my audience and things like that. But I also like to reach the thought of helping people has just been, that's been my motivation. I think I've told a lot of you guys, like my mom passed away 2.5 years ago, and I 100% believe that if I knew about this 5 years ago, even 4 years ago, she would be here today. And I just listened to a call where somebody said that their 80-year-old mom has reversed her diabetes, and I was like, that could have been my mom. um, but even more than that, what's been easy for me is because I'm busy. I have a full-time business. I actually have 3 other businesses. I just take everything that's handed to me and I copy and paste. And I get my new customers and I plug them into the systems that are already built. I don't have to recreate things. I just copy paste. It's just a copy paste business. Anyway, so that's what I've absolutely loved about this, and being part of learning, knowing you guys and what Brittany's doing and what you're doing and Natalie. Anyway, it's a great place to be. It's a great team. So I just wanted to share that.
Thank you so much, Kathy. I copy and paste. That is like, if I had a tattoo on my forehead with this business, it would be copy and paste, right? Like it takes you don't have to think about it. You truly, if you're willing to work and you feel like I could help some people, this is for you. It really is. So let me know if anybody has any questions. I feel like I took up plenty of time. Like I said, I am chatty. I talk all day long. So hopefully this wasn't too much, but I do like those parting words. Helping people, there's something that just it does it for me, knowing that other people get to experience what I experienced. Um, it's pretty special. And I make people feel pretty good when I do their hair, right? They leave but then they can't do it on their own half the time. They're like, what products did you use? Right? What curling iron? Mine doesn't curl the same. This, people learn how to be healthy and they learn how to change their lives and they can do it on their own. So it's pretty, we just get to facilitate it. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. But if not, you're just going to want to get back with the person who invited you to this call and have a conversation and see what moving forward could look like for you. So I think that we're all good. You're so welcome, Sarah. But yeah, have a good Friday, right? It's the weekend. We're here. But thank you so much for being here and for your thoughts and messages and all of that. And I will see you guys later.